Hello, I hope everybody is having a fantastic day at our junior high school and our high school today. And I want to talk a little bit about EOC administration and do our training virtually this year because we're short on time. I'm going to go through this in under 10 minutes, but I want to start with this test security. We got to make sure we have a clean administration. We need to impress that upon our test administrators. We need to take this seriously. We want to make sure we're following the rules. We want to make sure we're not fudging anything. We shouldn't be looking at the test. We shouldn't be pumping information from the kids on a test. And we do not need to have cell phones or smartwatches in the testing environment. So I want to say that up front. That is critical to our mission of having a clean administration of this and preserving our academic integrity as a school district. I just think that's really important. I don't want to ruin a stellar reputation by kind of an incident that could happen during testing. And so I know you know that. Just please impress that upon your test administrators. We're going to go through these slides, and this is going to be one take under 10 minutes. So I'm going to stumble, I'm going to fumble, I'm going to say dumb stuff. So it's pretty much like any other meeting you've ever had with me, sadly. Let's talk about the basic overview of the EOC tests that they go into. Let me scroll down real quick. It talks about who's involved. I wanted to go over the changes this year. That's what I wanted to talk about. Social studies is a field test. Government is required. And ELA will have listening items on the ELA 2 test, which is required. Those will not be reported in the student's scale score. Also, I had a question about personal finance, and I'll get with you on this, Mrs. Henry. I know we've always assessed personal finance in the business department. I didn't know it came through as an EOC. And if I should have, I apologize for my ignorance, but that seemed like news to me. If it's a standalone personal finance course, the assessment's optional. So I just kind of need to get with you on that and see how we want to approach. Probably our business department already has a plan for it, though. One other thing I wanted to mention in this slide is there's an item sampler. So if you want kids to be exposed without taking the full practice test again, you can to different question formats. You can click on this and get a sampler of all these fantastic question types during this test administration. And of course, the required EOCs, Algebra 1, ELA 2, Government, and Biology. Slide 2, we're going to talk about accommodations and universal tools. So, of course, a universal tool, anyone can use an accommodation. You have to have it in an IEP or 504. And that's what they're going to say right there. I want to point out there are no accommodations for use on EOCs that cause an invalidation. But then they kind of contradict themselves, and they say, read alouds. All directions and items in any subject except ELA reading passages may be read by a trained reader, and read aloud of an ELA reading passage requires an IEP or 504. So mark that if we have anybody that needs help with an ELA reading passage. It won't necessarily cause an invalidation, but I don't think we can technically read it aloud unless it's part of an IEP or 504. So it's somewhat contradicting, and I just wanted to point it out. Hope I'm not confusing you. I just thought that was kind of interesting how they stated that. Slide 3 are the timing guidelines and blueprints. Feel free to consult those. I'm sure you already have. In important dates, they just impress upon us that it is a 7-day window. If you want it closed earlier than this, please let me know. Who is tested? Everybody, pretty much everyone, except a MAP A student and a student who's been in the U.S. for the English test less than 12 cumulative months and speaks a foreign language. So that it also includes Missouri option students and homebound students. If you have a student in the MOVET program, yep, we're going to test them too, because why should they be exempt from this glorious fun that we call the end of course assessments? If you got questions about exceptions, let me know. And if you want, just for a hoot, you can put our foreign exchange students through the United States assessment system just for fun, kicks and giggles. And homeschool students, if they request it, we generally work with them. Any questions, you can contact those good people or give me a call. I'd be happy to assist you as well. Special circumstances in slide 6. Really what this means is if you have, this is the whole EOC process. You can review that if you want. Of course, you need to train your people. But they go into paper, pencil tests, and braille and large print tests. And if you need those things, please let me know. If you want to go over in great detail, how to use an Xterra, please check out slide deck 7. Alternative testing formats in slide 8. I know I'm racing through this, but I've got a 10-minute limit I want to hold true to. Let's talk about these alternative testing formats. If you need any paper, let me know. The big thing here, we need it 1 week prior to testing. We need to mark it in the system. I'm going to go down to this one right here. Look, this is a scary sentence here. I am accountable for 100% of the return shipment of each paper, pencil, braille, and large print test, or they're going to take away my birthday. And I love my birthday. I generally go to Olive Garden with my family, and my mother-in-law makes me tiramisu. It's a magical day, and I would be incredibly upset if they took away my birthday. Seriously, get that to me, because they will make a big deal if we have paper, pencil material that we can't account for. That would be bad. No bueno. No bueno. On 9, you can talk about practice, tutorials, and pre-test. I'm sure you've already done that. Feel free to check that out. Test ticket process and test day materials also highlighted in slide deck 11, and possible testing issues in slide deck 12. The big one here is if you have a technology issue. They don't have an FAQ, unfortunately, like they did for the MAP test. All they have is consult the testing manual. They do in this slide presentation go on what happens if you lose internet connection. Do not turn off the computer and call Questar is basically what they are going to tell you. Test invalidations, we don't want an invalidation, but if we do, it has to be because of cheating. And again, no electronic devices in the testing environment. If you get any of these quirky issues like students moving in or out, disruption or illness, feel free to consult this or give me a call and I'll run down that issue for you. The last one is slide deck 13. After testing, and the big thing here is make sure you shred the scrap paper and the test tickets and return those paper materials to me. The big thing here is please let me know if you have any questions. We want a secure testing environment. I can't thank you enough for all you do. Thanks for helping with the EOC. God bless America. Take care. Bye.